certified nutrition coach specializing in weight loss and personal transformation, speaker, best-selling author of multiple books, Maria Mizzi. We have #1 best-selling authors in here. Congratulations to each and every one of you. And if you're not an author, you're in the room filled with #1 best-selling authors. How exciting is that? Well, my chapter is chapter 12, and I wanted to share something a little bit different. I am a nutrition and mindset expert, and I wanted to share with you the very powerful truth of how they come together. So I want you to think about emotions and our food choices are deeply interconnected. And let me share an example with you. How many times have you reached for a comfort food, a comfort snack, when you felt stressed, fear, sadness overwhelm you? Yes, right? We've all been there. We have all been there. Now, several years ago, I went through a really dark time, and I was battling extreme fatigue. Weight gain was coming on, like every day. I didn't know how that happened. I couldn't focus, and I had acne, adult cystic acne on my face, on my body. My body was screaming, obviously, but I wasn't listening. There were days when I would literally feel like I was crawling through life because I had no energy, and I just kept going until one day, exhaustion stopped me in my tracks, and I realized something in that time, that it wasn't about the food. It was about the emotions that were driving those choices. So I took some time and I integrated a method that would help me make healthy choices even when I was feeling overwhelmed with these emotions. And I'll share a little bit about you later. And one of the other things that I found is our emotions, those negative emotions, really grab hold of our eating choices. And we have about five negative emotions that really are toxic and really upset our eating choices. I'm going to tell you what they are. And I'd like for you to maybe think about the one that you may often choose. So there's 5 of them, no particular order. One being fear, which would be numbing our anxiety. Another one would be anger. That would be compulsive eating. Another would be boredom, filling a void. That's a very popular one. Another one is shame, seeking comfort. And then the 5th one is sadness, and that's masking our feelings. And what I found is these 5 emotions don't just affect our eating habits, they start to define our relationship with ourselves. So as I mentioned, I integrated this method to help me make healthy food choices even when I was feeling these negative emotions. And I'm going to share it with you. So think about that emotion that maybe you use most often, and you could even write this down. I created an acronym so I could do this quickly when I was feeling this way. And what I did is I call it Let It Rain. So it brought me joy just thinking about it. 4 simple steps. R-A-I-N. So the R stands for realize it isn't true. And what that means is recognize the story that you're telling yourself in your head. And just realize that's all it is. It's a story. And once you do that, you can move on to the A. This is where it all started to change for me. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to feel that emotion. Now, the trick is that I found is you want to truly sit with that emotion for about 90 seconds. I usually set a timer to make it easy. Once I'm sitting there for that 90 seconds, No judgment. No judgment whenever that negative emotion was. You're just allowing yourself to feel it 90 seconds. Once you do that, you're ready to move on to the next one, the I. This is a great one here. Investigate. Guess what we're going to do next? We get to investigate that message. And here's what happens. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to teach me? The clarity comes. Clear. Then we're ready for the next one. We're ready for the N in the rain. So we realized it wasn't true. We allowed ourselves to feel what that emotion was. Then we investigated what it actually meant. We have that clarity. We get to move to the N, which is now we have the opportunity to choose again, to choose love, and let that old emotion go. Because we've allowed ourselves to breathe in that time, going through the rain method. We allowed ourselves to choose compassion and to let it go and move on. Now remember, the body is very similar to the mind. Just like the body, the mind also consumes what we feed it, emotionally and nutritionally. So remember this, if we really understand that connection between food and our emotions, we really transform the way we define ourselves. And when we do that, we can actually become the happiest person in the room. And that's what my chapter is titled, The Happiest Person in the Room, because I was able to work through those emotions. And one thing that I put in that chapter that I thought you guys might love is a happiness quiz. So imagine finding out what your happiness style is. So you take a little quiz, you find out what your happiness style is, and after that, it shoots out a message to you that says, that's an awesome happiness style. How can we raise that a little bit higher? So that's available to you in my book on chapter 12, so I hope you enjoy that. And it was a pleasure to be up here speaking with you today. Thank you very much.